did my research. I was so intrigued by this. I did my research and I was like, I have to do this, right? But what shocked me the most, LaSalle, was when we reached to the park. Tell me what happened when we reached to
Listen,
the
the
park.
bus man, the conductor got out. The conductor got out and said, "Everybody, anybody for the park, anybody for the park, anybody coming out to the bus." No one got out.
Not a soul.
Everybody sat there.
And the
You
bus
know
was
why?
full.
You know why? Because
Everybody
everybody was
was
bus riding. Hey, our aviation enthusiasts and health fanatics. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the AviDoct podcast. I'm LaSalle Jacobs, your aviation professional navigating the skies.
And I'm Khadija Jacobs, your friendly neighborhood doctor, here to keep you grounded, entertained, and healthy.
Listen, whether you're soaring through the clouds
Or even seeking tips for a healthier lifestyle,
you're in the right place.
Jinx. Together, we'll explore the intersection of aviation and healthcare, bringing you fascinating insights, expert interviews, and a touch of our own life adventures.
So, fasten your seatbelts
And grab your stethoscopes
because it's time for the AviDoct podcast to take flight. Stat.
Welcome aboard once again to the AviDoct podcast. Thank you guys for listening to us. Thank you guys for coming on board once again. Thank you guys for being patient with us. It's been quite some time since we've had our last episode. A lot has changed for us,
Most definitely.
including our location, semi-permanently. So we're thrilled to have once again our Captain LaSalle Jacobs. LaSalle, let's hear from you.
Sure, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard to Flight AviDoct. This is your captain speaking alongside my co-pilot, my beautiful wife, Khadija Jacobs, who will accompany us as we venture into a recap of what AviDoct has been thus far. All the episodes we would have covered and where we would have taken you guys, the destinations we would have taken you guys thus far.
Most
So,
definitely.
Yeah, so just buckle up, strap in, fasten your seatbelts, and we'll take you on this journey. Hopefully we get there safely.
Thank you, Captain Jacobs. I must say that this episode is powered by Electro.
Guyana's first electric micro-mobility rental experience. Whether you're cruising on the seawall or even exploring the CT, Electro scooters are the fun, eco-friendly way to ride. No gas, no noise, just pure electric freedom.
And you know, it's funny you say that. I remember one day it's very congested in town and you just hopped on that scooter and went through, zipping through town. In 3 minutes, you were at your destination versus when we did it the day prior, you took about 20 minutes just to get 4 corners down. So I think Electro is the way to go. So if you're ready to ride, follow at Electro, that's ELECTRO.inc on Instagram, or contact 640-9192 to reserve your scooter today.
Most definitely. So
Electro, a positive charge on the go. So today our episode is being shot at the Blue Bell Cafe, and this is located on Sheriff Street. We have here a cozy ambiance, the food 100 out of 100, or as they say, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
And just a nice chill vibe. If you're looking to have a cozy place, a nice chill vibe, just to come and relax with your friends or family, I think Bluebell Cafe might be the place for you, as it is for us today. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot that we've survived over maybe the past 5 months. One, including, remember the last episode we spoke about a bus ride? When I told y'all that LaSalle was a regular, regular boy.
No. Pause with that. I ain't no regular boy. Apparently, when you dig into things, regular boys in Guyana ain't no ordinary thing.
It's
so
creep
don't call me a regular boy.
But there was
Refer
somebody.
to me as captain.
there-
Refer to me as captain.
There was
Jacobs.
somebody that confirmed that Captain was a regular boy in his central days. And guess what regular boy Captain Jacobs did? Took me on a bus ride in Bubble Gum 41 bus route. What bus? Let me tell you, I survived this, But today, yes, we'll recap from crossing borders, how we met, So let's get into things once again. So we started the year off with our first episode, which talked about crossing borders, literally and figuratively. We spoke about the challenges of migration, the cultural shifts that I would have experienced, because this episode was more so about me, given that my transition to the U.S. was the newest case from either of us, since LaSalle is a veteran in migration. We talk about the things that you leave home just for the want of a better life.
Yeah, most
But
definitely.
now that we have a new administration in the USA, is it really a better life?
Well, listen, make America great again. We're not going to stray away from that.
Yeah, and that's why we're still here in Guyana.
Most definitely. So for me, you often want to have home in your transition phase. You want to feel homey all the time. And let me tell you guys, shopping at Bobby's is no way far from home.
Yep.
Shopping at Bobby's really makes you feel like you are actually in Stabrook, or you're in Borda, or you at one of these homey environments.
Yes,
So-
and our audience did agree with that, especially the Bobby's experience. The irony of it all, though, is that a lot of people like to say that you marry for a green card. What do you think about that?
People can say whatever they want, man, but once you find the person that you're looking for and you're comfortable with them, then my opinion is never for a green card. It's for what you feel deep down inside. And for most people, I don't want to say all, because everyone have different motives. Most people would get married for love. Most people would get married for better opportunities. Most people get married for a green card, like you rightfully said. However, our journey took us somewhere else, and our journey took us to a destination of love where we got married for love and nothing else.
Okay, I'll take it as a 2-for-1, because getting a green card was a really good bonus. All right. So, LaSalle, our second episode, what was it?
Our second episode is where we spoke about forgotten fatherhood. Where everyone would think of mothers only whenever we speak about pregnancy, whenever we speak about becoming parents. Everybody make or put emphasis into talking about the mothers and what they go through and what they would experience, the body changes, the transition. But nobody, in most cases, nobody talks about what fathers experience. Nobody speak about what the fathers go through, how they deal with having a new mother, having a newborn, and having all of these things. So for me, our fatherhood episode was very, very interesting.
Yeah, I like that we highlighted the real sacrifices that men make in their families and the lack of recognition that comes with being a newborn father. As you said, everything goes towards the mom. We even touched on Guyana's paternity leave, how crucial it is for those first 6 weeks that the mom usually get, but then dad gets nothing. And babies, we know they don't come with manuals nor instructions. So we don't really know what to do as a mom nor a dad. So we're reaching out, or should we say we're encourage the government of Guyana to look into giving paternity leave to the dads, also maybe equivalent to the moms or as close to the amount of time that the moms get, because moms need that support.
Yeah,
we
most
really
definitely. And that one thing that you're talking about, where Guyana would invest more into fathers getting more paternity time off, like you rightfully said. And becoming a new dad, I realize how crucial this fix really is. 6 weeks of time off with your newborn and your new mother. Well, some people are not new mothers. Some mothers or some women are not new mothers, but in that phase, when you get back into that fresh baby phase, if I may say,
Yeah.
having time to assist the mother and to help with the baby well-being, or help with the baby's necessary things that come with becoming a father is really helpful. And I'm certain a lot of women, a lot of mothers would appreciate that if it's implemented and it become more or less a legal legislation where men are given that time off. It would be an amazing thing to have.
All right. So, Guyana, let's make this happen. Our third episode, Cutting Toxic Friendships. At this point, I just want to say that I think we're at cruising altitude already.
Yeah.
And I remember clearly that this episode was sort of a turbulent flight.
It most definitely was. It most definitely was because you had a lot to say. You had a lot to say in this episode.
Yes, and some people were trying to guess what it is that we were talking about, who it is that I was cutting off, and all these things was just happening. I remember on Instagram, one of my stories blew up, and people started connecting the dots from there onwards. And people became detectives overnight.
Yeah, and when I say people turned into detectives overnight. Y'all had red strings and vision boards trying to piece things together. Like it was a crime scene. And listen, by the time Khadija checked her DMs, it was blowing up. Everybody was like in her inbox. Who's it? Who y'all talking about? What going on? So, Khadija, you can tell us more about that.
I think we said a lot in the episode itself, but in all seriousness, we reminded people that if a friendship is draining you and you have no peace, the friendship is draining your peace. If there is multiple betrayal, like in the episode we were talking about, this one friend repetitively betrayed both you and I, and then as a collective also, and our close friends, you know, it's time to let it go. And in general, when people betray you over and over and over, there must be a time when you say, okay, enough is enough, and it's time to let it go. I know we do extend a little grace, but grace also expires in the human body. I am not God, I'm not Jesus, so I can't make it happen.
Yep. And that brings us to our fourth episode, where we had the beautiful and wonderful Miss Joaquin Peters with us, and Khadija and her friend, they tapped on Bishop's High School reunion. It was an interesting conversation because I've never been to Bishop's, but hearing them talk about it seems like quite an experience. So, Kadi, remind us what that was like.
Listen, Swakim reminded me that back then she was so intimidated by me because of how dominant I was in sports. And now look, we have a really good sisterhood. We have a really great relationship. We've had shared experiences and a beautiful friendship that has grown stronger over the years. I really, really love the relationship that Swakim and I have built. To see that both of us actually are on the same path, and that's in the medical field.
Yeah, and Khadija, the beauty about life is that you always start off as rivals, but we often find common ground. As your relationship grow or as it bloom into something amazing, because especially when we both end up as, or when you both end up as medicine personnel or lovers of medicine, lovers of the medical field, you guys share common interests. Most definitely, you always find that, healing people instead of trying to outplay each other is the main focus, and you guys would have bridged or found this link where you became friends, and she actually came to Texas and spent some time with us. So that in itself was quite interesting. I got to know her a little bit, so I felt Bishop's High School in the house for a few. Trust me, guys, it wasn't the best thing ever, but
a little crazy, but it's fine.
I did it.
Oh my God. And when we did that episode, she was still a student wrapping up. But now our girl has matched, and I want to publicly congratulate Swakim Mulship Peters on her OBGYN residency match. Swakim, this is for you. So our last episode, the viral one, the one that had a lot of people thinking, a lot of people talking, that was how we met. Now, we give you the full story of how we met, the good, the bad, and the ridiculous.
And somehow, instead of our love story, people fixated on my bus riding adventures. But let me just put a disclaimer out there, guys. I never, ever ride bus when I was going to school. she can say what she
That's a lie.
wants.
But let me
It's
tell
not
you-
it's not a case where you knew me then. So if you didn't know me, you can't make that determination.
I didn't know you,
Because-
but I used to see you. But not
What you just said?
I didn't know you, but I used to see you.
That's not true. None of that is true.
Really?
No, it's not.
All right. Yeah, you're right. It's not true. But the people on Facebook said you were a regular guy, and we're just gonna stick with that. Like, let's not just let's move
But
on.
in
from
their
it.
in their definition of regular at that point, they're indicating that I was very popular, and that doesn't change. A lot
Yeah,
of
but-
people know me, and that doesn't mean that you refer to someone as that, or even make the slightest conclusion that they ride bus. Nonetheless, let's not even tap on that. Let's just stick to the fact that Homegirl decided to ride bus when she came to Guyana. Homegirl got in bubblegum, and she was bumping up and down, enjoying the music. The man was driving fast, and it was quite an experience. So you talk about that.
It was a lovely experience. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I had an amazing time in Bubblegum, but I do not recommend it to anyone. So please don't go and tell your parents the AviDoct podcast said that you should ride bus. Listen, but I loved it. All right, so getting into the bus, all right? Actually, I had no idea what I was signing up myself for. I remember we dropped off the car to get it washed, and then I was like, hey, let's just jump in this bus and go up and come back. He's like, all right, let's go. This time it was LaSalle, my little cousin, and my aunt trying this thing, all right? So we all got in. The music was loud. Then we were racing the next bus, Scooby-Doo. Mind you, the top buses in the 41 bus park is Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Scooby-Doo, Toy Story, Bubblegum, and I think now there's a gold Mickey.
Says the person who don't ride bus.
I did my
She know
research.
all them buses. Listen to that. I can't even tell y'all the name of it. And listen to her outlining the names from the top of her head.
I did my research. I was so intrigued by this. I did my research and I was like, I have to do this, right? But what shocked me the most, LaSalle, was when we reached the park. Tell me what happened when we reached
Listen,
the
the
park.
bus man, the conductor got out. The conductor got out and said, anybody for the park, anybody coming out to the bus. No one got out.
Not a soul.
Everybody sat there.
And the
you
bus
know
was
why?
full.
You know why? Because
Everybody
was
was
bus riding. But listen, I'm not even going to stray away from the fact that them fellas make money.
They do, because you
Oh
don't
my
pay a
God.
regular bus fare.
That
A
man
bus
makes
ride is like
money.
maybe $1,000 or
And
more.
fair enough, because we paid $5,000 that ride to go up and come back down.
Yep, and it was just four of us.
I don't know if we should disseminate that information
People
and that
might
man
say
get
we're
taxed,
dumb.
but well, I ain't no but dumb, but me and that man get taxed because Jerry might be listening.
Yeah, but we caught the bus at National, went to town, and the man said, anybody coming out before National. Now, guys, a normal bus route has about 20 to 30 stops before National, right? That's a normal bus route. So for the conductor to ask if there's anybody coming out before National, it means like this is really not a
Yeah, yo, you remember that? The man said, anybody for Jumpy Board, anybody for Toggle Bridge, anybody for Exit,
And
anybody for
nobody.
Entrance.
There was nobody.
Nobody was getting up. I'm like, whoa.
I was weak.
From
Listen,
the park straight to National.
Straight to
That was
National.
our first stop.
National was the
Listen,
first
the
stop
fastest trip to South
ever. And we were the only ones that came out.
Right where we got in.
Yeah, so
Right where we got in.
ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed the bus ride, but I do not recommend it. I survived. I am safe. I'm still a whole human being, but it was fast and furious. I kid you not. We have some videos and clips to insert for you guys just to show you what it was. It was shaking. Oh, remember that man that said he had a concussion? Well, I had a few on our way back. So, LaSalle, as we prepare for descent, we are now in 2025. Please take us down.
Sure. As we prepare for our landing, let's talk about what's next. Guys, we are concluding season 1. This is going to be the final episode on season 1, and I want you guys to look out now for season number 2. Number 2 is going to be quite interesting. We are coming with our new concept that we are referring to as becoming. We are going to have numerous well-known, influential personnels joining us on the AviDoct podcast. Khadija is going to do a couple of episodes with people. I'm going to do a couple of episodes with people. They're going to tell you how they started off, where they are, or the journey that they took to get to where they are. And of course, to make it a little more interactive, we're going to have them name the episodes.
Oh, yeah. So they're going to name their own episodes. So we'll have people from aviation, from medicine, business, arts, you name it, we've got it. I don't think they're ready for what's about to come. Should we tell them that we might have some sponsors on board? And we're so excited for this opportunity to have some sponsorship on board.
Most definitely. Yes, guys. We are growing. We are expanding Electro. We're now having sponsorship. We're now going to have influential people on board with us, and we are going to make your journey, your ride, your trip to whatever destination we get to, or whatever destination we fly you guys to, one that's memorable, one that is, enjoyable, and one that most definitely will be fun and funny in every way possible.
Yep, so it's big names, big inspiration, and big vibes. So, LaSalle, we have made this episode a very short one just to let our audience know that we're still here, first of all.
Most definitely.
We're here in Guyana, and that we still have great things in store for us or for them. We're at our favorite segment. That's the cheers moment. Today, we're cheesing to some lattes. This is really good, guys. I have the iced salted caramel latte. And LaSalle, what do you have?
Me, I have the iced mocha latte. So this one is very chocolatey. I love that. I love that about it.
He's a chocolate lover for sure. I like to explore, so probably you'll be seeing me tasting different things.
Of course, you like to explore. Guys, who drink coconut with coffee? Coconut water with coffee. We literally tried coconut water and coffee. I'm not a fan of it, guys, but Khadija enjoyed it, I must say.
I did. It's something different.
Chocolate.
So my final takeaway, right? If 2024 taught us anything, it would be this. Cross borders. Cut the toxic ties. Cherish the real ones. What else is all?
Me? My cheer moment?
Yeah.
Take your wife on a bus ride. Take your wife on a 41 bus ride. Listen, trust me, guys. She's going to love you more, and she's going to enjoy the experience. Don't bother with this whole front
Bougie, sit down in front of the Lexus.
No, who catch bus kettle? No. Listen.
Fast and Furious experience.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
It's an experience. So, guys, thanks a lot for joining us on the AviDoct podcast. This is episode number 5. No, episode number 6. This is our grand finale. This is our final episode on season number 1. We enjoyed your company. I want you guys to let us know what your trip was like, how you experienced, what the experience was like, and if you are going to be joining us on season number 2, where we are going to bring all the best moments that other influential personnels can bring on board the AviDoct flight.
Yes, so LaSalle, I think this was a very nice, smooth flight. Very insightful to what is to come, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So until next time, fly high with AviDoct podcast. You can follow us on AviDoct at AviDoctPodcast on Instagram. That's our Gmail. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. Follow, like, subscribe. Give us your everything.
And let's not forget, we recently signed up for the Facebook fan page, where you can also reach us on Facebook at AviDoct Podcast. So follow us, help us to grow our podcast and reach more listeners as we venture into Becoming season number 2.
Becoming. Stay tuned. Bye.